Good evening. Tonight, the world is holding its breath. President Trump issues his most terrifying warning yet to Iran. With 500 dead in the streets of Tehran, American B-2 bombers are moving into position. Is tonight the night the sky falls? We have the exclusive details on Operation Hellfire. Also tonight, the raid. The FBI storms the home of a top Washington reporter. Laptops seized, files taken. The White House says it is about national security. Critics call it a war on the truth. We take you inside the investigation that has terrified the press and a shockwave from the north. President Trump threatens to shut down the Canadian border and cut off trade if Prime Minister Trudeau doesn't act. The economic war that could cost you thousands. From New York, this is a special edition of World News. We begin tonight with the drums of war beating louder than they have in decades. Just hours ago, President Donald Trump stood before the press and delivered a message that has sent shockwaves from Washington to Tehran. The president declared that the Iranian regime has crossed the final red line, following reports that Iranian security forces have killed over 500 protesters in the last 48 hours. The White House has shifted from diplomacy to direct military threat. Here's what we know right now. The Pentagon has raised the alert level for all U.S. forces in the Middle East. We are tracking reports of B-2 Spirit stealth bombers deploying from Whiteman Air Force Base heading east. This is not a drill. This is a mobilization. The president stated clearly that the window for talking is closed. He warned that if they do not stand down immediately, they will face a level of destruction that no country has ever seen. He called it Hellfire. Let's look at the situation on the ground. This isn't just rhetoric. The USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group is currently positioned in the Arabian Sea. They are within striking distance of Tehran's command centers. Intelligence sources tell us that the president has authorized a target list that includes Iran's nuclear facilities. But why now? Why tonight? Sources inside the Situation Room tell us that the administration believes the Iranian regime is on the verge of collapse. The protests are not just in the capital, they are nationwide. The White House strategy is clear: apply maximum pressure and push them over the edge. However, the risks are catastrophic. If Tehran closes the Strait of Hormuz, 20% of the world's oil supply gets cut off instantly. Gas prices in America could double overnight. We spoke to military analysts earlier today who warned that while U.S. air power is unmatched, the retaliation could be severe. This is the gamble President Trump is taking. He is betting that the threat of total destruction will force the Ayatollah to blink. But if they don't blink, if they fight back, we are looking at a conflict that will make the last 20 years look like a skirmish. Tonight, the orders have been signed. The pilots are in their cockpits. The world waits. Turning now to a major developing story here at home, a story that questions the very fabric of our First Amendment. In a stunning pre-dawn raid, FBI agents executed a search warrant at the home of veteran journalist Hannah Natanson. Agents seized computers, phones, and stacks of confidential notes. This is a rare and aggressive move by the Department of Justice against a member of the press. The Justice Department claims this is not about journalism, but about national security. They allege that the reporter was in possession of classified documents related to the administration's internal plans. They are calling it a leak investigation. But let's be clear about what this means. The government is hunting for the whistleblower inside the Trump administration who is leaking information to the press. President Trump has long called the media the enemy of the people. Today, his administration took action to silence them. Press freedom advocates are calling this a dark day for democracy. They argue that if the FBI can kick down a reporter's door to find their sources, no whistleblower will ever feel safe to speak the truth again. We have learned that the raid was authorized by the Attorney General himself. The message to the federal workforce is chilling. If you talk to the press, we will find you and we will prosecute you. This goes beyond one reporter. This is about your right to know what your government is doing. The documents in question reportedly reveal plans to slash thousands of federal jobs. The administration didn't want you to see them yet. Now the person who tried to show you is under investigation. Tonight, legal teams from major news organizations are filing emergency motions in federal court to get those seized devices back. But the damage may already be done. The chilling effect is real. Tonight, Washington is a city of silence where everyone is afraid that they could be next. And finally tonight, a major shift in American foreign policy. For decades, Canada and Israel have been America's closest friends. But under the America First doctrine of 2026, friendship has a price tag. President Trump dropped a bombshell today regarding our neighbor to the north. Frustrated by what he calls a broken border allowing terrorists and drugs to flow into the U.S., Trump threatened to treat Canada not as an ally, but as a security threat. The president tweeted that if Prime Minister Justin Trudeau does not secure the northern border within 48 hours, the U.S. will impose a blanket 25% tariff on all Canadian goods. Cars, lumber, oil, everything. Economists warn this could be devastating. The U.S. and Canada trade over $2 billion a day. A tariff war would skyrocket the price of your new car and your home construction costs. Trump went even further in a private donor call, reportedly joking that if Canada can't govern itself, perhaps it should become the 51st state. While likely hyperbole, the insult has caused a diplomatic crisis in Ottawa. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, the blank check has bounced. In a tense phone call with Prime Minister Netanyahu, President Trump reportedly issued an ultimatum: finish the war or we finish the funding. This is a seismic shift. The U.S. provides Israel with billions in military aid annually. Trump is arguing that this money should stay in America unless Israel can prove it is moving toward a resolution. He stated that America is not the world's ATM. Critics say abandoning our allies invites chaos. Supporters say it's about time America stopped paying for other people's wars. What connects Iran, the FBI raids, and these threats to allies? It is a singular vision of power. A presidency that is moving fast, breaking norms, and challenging the status quo at home and abroad. The question tonight is not just what the president will do next, but whether the world and our own Constitution can withstand the pressure. We will continue to monitor the skies over Tehran and the federal courthouse in Washington. As soon as news breaks, we will break in. For now, thank you for trusting us with your time. In uncertain times, the truth is your only weapon. Good night, and God bless.